You guys are ready? I think you are. Let's get the day going, little boys. As you grow up right in front of our eyes here. There you go. A very, very, very cold morning again. Boy, we're getting some incredible cold weather here. Hey, good Thursday morning. I was going to say Wednesday morning. I can't keep track of time. All right, let's get the day going. Got my hot water heater back working. I switched over from electric heat to natural gas, which I think that unfroze the tank or whatever, however you want to call it. But here's the problem. Sorry for my cough, and I'm fighting something, but the wife called and couldn't get the gate open. So the gate's broken. So now the gate's partially open, which that's not good because the little dogs can get right out into the road instantly. And that's a whole project for me to go put the gate back together. So it just doesn't end. This cold weather is just really, the ongoing day in, day out of the weather is really creating havoc. And the wife had to use her scarf to make it so the gate wouldn't break. So that's for me a project which I may have to go back out here and look at here in a second and just kind of call it a timeout for the morning video. As I say, the cold weather being cold day in, day out, it's really starting to have the effects of creating problems. And today it's supposed to be 30 for the high, so we're not even going to break the freezing mark. So it is quite interesting here. One of the coldest Januaries we've had in a long time. All right, here's the dogs. I won't show the code to the whole world to come visit the dogs. And the wife, she does know how to shoot a gun, just so you know. She can shoot a gun in the same spot over and over again. 57 Magnum. So, and she does have that next to her bed, just so you know. So, wouldn't screw with the wife. All right, puppies, here we are. It's a disaster when you let your dogs play in your house. Come on, pups. And there's the other dogs. So it'll be, oh, it's a free-for-all now. Wow, I got to turn it off and take care of some things. All right. Got the gate to work. I think it was just frozen. I sincerely believe that arm was just frozen. So, good news is the gate's working. As you can see, it's dragging a little bit right here. That's a problem. The ice buildup right here. See, the tolerance is just so close. This gate. I need to take this gate and raise it up. But is that going to happen on a day like today? No. No way. Let's see if that helps out a little bit. Here. This gate's a never-ending challenge. I mean, you have no idea how many years I have fought the gate. See right there? It's catching right there. What a joke. All right, now the next project is there's no water out in the barn. It's all frozen up. Now, I don't want to take it from my camper because then I got to replenish my camper, which I don't want to do that. So now, how am I going to video and carry this across with my coffee? If I had any brains, I brought my coffee over earlier, but oh well. Let's go back to the house, get the dogs. Amazing. Isn't this amazing? The dogs aren't going rowdy. Let's go. That's kids' show. Come on, let's go. Oh my goodness. Come on, go on. Go on, get out, get out, get out. Alright. So, the adventure begins, right? Oh, yet another balmy, freeze your ass off day. Can you even imagine? Can you even imagine if you live in North Carolina? That whole area got destroyed. How many people are just freezing their ass off? I mean, the homeless. It's just incredible how us humans operate. It's, I just popped my head, though. Not only the homeless people, but the fentanyl. So, no, come on back here. No. No, you hungry? Are you guys hungry? Come on, let's get something to eat. Come on. Let's get to the barn. Come on, let's get something to eat. Come on, you hungry? So, the fentanyl. It just seems like the fentanyl drug abuse totally disappeared. There used to be so much talk about the fentanyl. What happened to that? And then, as we know, all the homeless people, it's just like, what's the focal point of what now Elon Musk calls come on, puppies, come on, Prince, Gypsy, their legacy media. He claims that the social media, such as X, is overtaking the general news media because people are sick of the so-called misinformation, the fake news, which that's what Donald Trump did. Does everybody remember that he was the guy that truly started the name fake news? I even kind of forgot about that. Come on, pups. Come on, Gypsy and Prince. I tell you, fighting something. It's not like radical, but my energy level definitely isn't at the optimum. So, if you scream, yell, these dogs, get up there. Go on, come on. And everything's frozen. Come on, Gypsy, Prince, come on. Hungry? Come here, Prince. Gypsy. Like these guys. I saw Julia yesterday. I was in the house a lot yesterday. And between Gypsy and Prince, they crapped and pissed in that house like you can't believe. It's incredible on how these guys really didn't do much. Come on, Prince, Gypsy. Come on. Well, I'll just start feeding these guys. And hopefully they show up. But what I've learned is you bend over in your jacket and you end up taking out your, it ends up pushing pressure on the, come on, Gypsy, Prince. I mean, I tell you, they're the better dogs as far as not really wandering off. But they're also a pain in the ass here in the morning lately. Gypsy, Prince, come on, you hungry? Watch out, I can't get your food out, dude. All right, these guys have a vet appointment at 11 o'clock. All right, let's see here if I get any smarter. Come on, here's your food. So I got to take them, and Julia's in college. Julia's back in college, so she's not available every day like she used to help me do things. So she's back in school, thank goodness. And this time around, she got good teachers, and she's still very young, so it's not like she's the older one in the class by any means. And come on, Gypsy and Prince. But it's interesting how Ramsey, New Jersey is getting a lot of attention right now. That's where I lived at one time. We lived in Jersey 3 times. Come on, Prince. Come on, boy. Come on, Prince. And I gotta remember to get dog food today. Come on, Prince, Gypsy. Come on, puppies. Prince, Gypsy, come on, you hungry? Aren't you guys hungry? Come on. Prince, Gypsy. Come on, girl. Come on, boy. They're just not responding. But Ramsey, New Jersey, back in 1970, so I think like 1971, we lived there in Ramsey, New Jersey. And then we moved to California. I think it was in 72. Come on in. Come on. Come on in. Come on, Pops. Come on. All right. Come on, Prince. Come on, Gypsy. Gypsy, come on, girl. Come on. So I don't know where she is. Come on, Prince. Come on, Gypsy, come on. Oh, dang it. You just can't. This colder weather, your hands just can't hold on to anything. It's, oh my gosh. So here we go. All right. So there's one thing accomplished. But the Ramsey, New Jersey school system is banning these kids having phones. And they're saying it's having great. Sarah in New Jersey, where I used to live as a little boy. I think I went there first, second grade, if I remember right. And then we moved to California. And so the thing is, they're literally making it so the kids can't use their cell phones in class. They're just banning that. It's a major problem. And they're saying they're having incredible success. It's really neat. Somebody invented this little pouch you can put your phone in, but it's lockable where you can't get your phone out of it unless you go through the main system in the school to unlock it. So that was a very good idea. Somebody make millions off of that idea. And does it really grab hold? And that's the future of the style of people having to have a phone with them, but they can't use it and they don't lose it because you got that pouch. I mean, I don't know. There's more to it than that, I think. But the biggest thing is it's getting rid of the students not paying attention. And that's what my daughter said at her college, here local, that the teacher is like, you're not allowed to use your phone. You can't lose your phone, period. There's no exception. You're failed. You're kicked out of the class. So they're getting much more strict on the use of these phones. Well, how I came from the day, some of you watch my channel, where you came from the day like me from the public telephone. You didn't have within hand's reach to talk to somebody. And we made it. And I saw something on Facebook. It was funny. A person was showing how when I grew up, what we read was the back of cereal boxes. You remember that? You remember the good old days? Yeah, you read the back of a cereal box. And so, wow, a lot of things are going on in the world with the Trump man going on, taking over. It's all about Trump again. I mean, it's incredible how Donald Trump came back. Who would have ever imagined? I'd have said I just can't see it, but obviously I can't see a lot of things, right? But I get a kick out of Michael Lewis, Houston Topcat, and there's another user that has a really weird, unique username, so I don't really know who that person is, but they're calling me out because they think that I have misinformation. But actually I get a kick out of that. And then Andrew, this one Andrew guy who kind of pops in and pops out, he says you can't do that on the Ice Age, the Iceman's channel because he'll just block you. And I'm thinking, what are you talking? People have made many comments on my channel, many rude comments, and necessarily I haven't blocked them. Where it gets kind of, in my view, old is the same old subscribers that get on this little path of mouthing off all day long, day in, day out, and eventually I'm just like, well, what are you doing here? It's like, it's a waste of time. You're not bringing anything to the channel. The frustration of me not obeying the rules. So, good. I'm not going to obey your rules, but you have to obey my rules because you no longer can participate in my channel. So, there you go. But as far as people commenting a disagreement, that doesn't bother me. I'm all up for disagreement. Who cares? I'm not the smartest of the bunch. I never said I was on my channel. I'm not a professor. I didn't go to college. I mean, I barely got through high school. I hated school. I couldn't wait to get out of school, especially my last 2 years of school because we got transferred. My father got transferred got transferred to Virginia from New Jersey. So my junior and senior year, I had no friends for the most part. It's so weird. I had a dream last night about Ivan, who then became my best friend here in Virginia over Tim. Tim's always been my best friend. But as far as in Virginia, Ivan then came into my life, and he was the Mopar guy. He's the guy that kind of turned me to being a Chevy guy and the truck guy to being the car guy, the Mopar guy. That's a fact. I was more fixated on the Chevy trucks. I just loved trucks. That's what I really liked. Like the Datsun. I was never really a Dodge Mopar guy. I liked the Power Wagon. So that's just funny and how I'm bringing that up today on for what happened to me in my last 2 years of school, which I couldn't stand because I lost all my best friends in New Jersey that had the Klan, and I just really didn't ever mold into the society of the, if you know what I'm talking about, in high school. So I couldn't wait to get out of school. The last year of school, I took, I think, 2 or 3 classes, and I worked the rest of the day. So I was working, already I was working borderline a full-time job back in my last year of high school. It's hard to believe I came out of high school and just kept on working, and I never stopped. So you're talking from 1981, really 1980, 81, I'd say 81, 82 is when I really started working, and I never, like I say, never stopped. Wow, look at the puppies here, huh? They're all getting bigger. But yeah, so I get a kick out of what people say is misinformation, but here's the reason it's being brought up. Because I'm bringing up Barack Obama. It really does stun me that so many don't believe that Barack Obama wasn't behind the scenes. I'm just really amazed. They strongly believe that when I talk about how Barack Obama was pulling the strings, they think I am so misinformed, and they think I'm delusional. They think, probably the most part, I'm just stupid, and I'm just caught up in the conspiracy theories and everything else. And I just think, wow, so you really feel like Barack Obama, that was just a few blocks away from the White House, that deliberately stayed in D.C., Valerie Jarrett was there with him, wasn't the operative behind the scenes of Joe Biden. In some ways, I could say in one way, as stupid as Joe Biden was, I guess it would be shameful to raise your hand and think you were the coach for Joe Biden, because the guy was not the smartest of the bunch. So in some ways, I would defend Barack Obama and say, right, yeah, it'd be pretty sad if it really is factual that you were the operative using this guy to get things to the way you want things to be in life, in this country to be, and this is the guy you chose that made you look like a fool. So I would take, and once again, you realize or not, Barack Obama, I was very excited about him when he first started running to be presidency. I really was. And I remember Rush Limbaugh being very critical of him, and I was not a George Bush fan. I thought George Bush, the family clan, the Cheney fan, all about wars. Put us in wars that are so sad, what happened to so many of our country. It was money. It's all about the money. whatever. That gets deep and heavy, and I'm not trying to call anybody out that went to war that's watching my channel. But the whole point is, when Barack Obama came along, remember Plumber Joe? Barack Obama came across, this is so interesting. My lights, okay, they're there. They usually come on. Barack Obama was coming across as just a good old middle-class guy wanting to do well for the country. But as time progressed, he was getting exposed, and where then I kind of stepped back on my favoritism to Barack Obama was the Jeremiah Wright. The Jeremiah Wright, the church that he's going to, where Jeremiah Wright in the church is so-called, they would say, death to America. And then you listen to Barack Obama, you listen to Rush Limbaugh, which I was never a huge follower of Rush Limbaugh because he just made you mad. When you listen to all his theories, very intelligent guy, and he's gone off of the media. You know, who replaced, per se, Rush Limbaugh in the media? I mean, I really don't know, because I just don't listen to these people, because then you get tuned into their world, and then you just start talking their language in their world. So I really try to separate myself from really watching the news and other things that go on. And I think this is my one customer from yesterday, so I got to take this here real quick. Okay, yesterday that customer called me, and I had that going on. I kind of forgot to give him a call back. Not a big deal. Nothing critical by any means. Yeah, so the point I was just making was that I don't listen to the news because you get too brainwashed into the news personality that's telling you everything. I do wish I would have remembered last night to watch Hannity. I'm not a Hannity guy, to see the Trump interview. So going back to the Barack Obama legacy is, Barack Obama point blank has made statements that you won't know this country when I'm finished with it. So it really does it kind of just stumps me that, and I'm not here to argue because you're not here in front of me to present your view, so it can be very, or really just one-sided. And it's so cold down here, and my hands are freezing that I have no choice but to go upstairs and let these guys, don't, okay, so they're having fun right here. I'm just going to leave these guys alone. I mean, it's just too cold. It's just brutally cold. And I'm going to get, my freaking hands are going to be frostbitten. So let's get up here. I know the dogs down there are secure. The reason I don't let them in here right now is because there's food down there. And these guys will be down there eating their food. And then it turns into a big fiasco. Look at the pool. So did the pump finally break? Does that thing still go? So now this thing here, my heat automatically comes on for the freezing point. And it does get toasty warm up here once I get the heat going. So here we are in the disaster zone. Everything's a disaster. A bomb went off in my world, it seems like. But, so, once again, what I'm just trying to say this morning, for those like you that are questioning this Barack Obama legacy being with Joe Biden, I'm taken back that you don't believe that. That you just think Barack Obama, what was Barack Obama doing? I mean, and one person said, as I've mentioned, that I actually believe people are going between the White House and Barack Obama's residence on a regular basis to be trained on to continue his legacy. And people say, yeah, but then Fox News or somebody have been hiding out. I'm like, I'm not so sure of that, because, think this through. Do you, as Fox News, want to now start think it through. You got to be very careful. So now Fox News is literally setting up camp to watch Barack Obama's house. And for me, I'd be like, whoa, what's going on here? What do you really know? So now you're spying on him. So I just can't see that. I can just think that if I was a producer of Fox News, I'd be like, that's going to create a big problem. That now it looks like we're spying on Barack Obama on a regular basis. So I can't see that anybody would have set up shop, and there's security all around those areas that would call you out. If you think, I would love to hear somebody tell me they can go down near Barack Obama's residence, park their car there, or be on the street and start filming on a daily basis in that same area without being called out. I can guarantee you're going to be arrested. It's not going to happen. So for me, it's like, no, you're not going to be able to see that. And what comes from that, it gets deep, and it just gets deep. And once again, some people, well, it's just misinformation. If you ask me, the media in general just spews a lot of misinformation. That's the whole point of what not Barack, but Elon Musk is saying more than ever is on X. He's taking claim for X. I mean, Elon Musk definitely is muscling his way into being the king of the world, which in so many ways he is, with the wealth he has, with enhanced reach of the technology he has, and the support he's getting now from this government. So, to kind of wrap it up there with Barack Obama, all I'm trying to convey to anybody else here is I'm sure that he was behind the scenes with Joe Biden trying to continue his legacy and to continue to push the change of this country, because we know the true beginnings, the 1619 ratings, we know the shameful acts that happened in our country. It wasn't just us, it was worldwide, of the abuse of mankind using others for slavery. And that just gets really heavy and deep. I'm watching the Civil War series from Ken Burns from 1990. My daughter's kind of watching it too, and there's just so much information on that. And I just, it's sad to see what played out. And the thing is, how many how many people died in that war? I mean, it's unbelievable. Also, it's unbelievable how many soldiers died just from being sick and starving. I mean, there's so much to it. It's truly sad what this country went through. I mean, the hardships, it's just incredible. It's a great series, and it's just hard to believe that is 35 years old when that was published. So I showed my daughter how people looked or dressed, because that documentary took years to make. So the interviews of people that have knowledge, Civil War historians, you're looking at them probably 1988, 89. Oh my gosh. That's just hard to believe. You see the way they look, they talk. I mean, and so for Ken Burns, how old is he now? I mean, you're talking 35 years ago. Is he like 80 years old? I don't even know. I mean, I never really followed that. I never even watched that series when it first hit back in 1990. But it's a great thing to just reflect on where our country came from and the hardships and what was fought over, and which continues today is which I'm not going to get all into that. So here's what's interesting is Vivek Ramaswamy is now running for the governor of Ohio. Now, Donald Trump was nudging him to become senator of Ohio. And this is very... Are all the dogs out? I mean, what time is it? I'm kind of running on schedule here. But so there's a whole article about how Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk had two totally different views of the Doji, the doggy. I just call it the doggy, the Department of Government Efficiency, on how it's kind of been bounced around how it's going to be set up. Well, for the record, now technically it's an official government agency. I guess Trump came to closure. The only way that's going to gain traction of what they figure out, it has to be an official agency. So, but Vivek Ramaswamy, my voice is terrible. I got a really bad cold. I took Alka-Seltzer to get me through. So, sorry for all the coughing and hacking, but it is what it is. And you just freeze. You just freeze. I mean, right now up here, you just freeze. For the most part, you're just freezing all day long. That's just the way it is because it's so cold. I don't know how Roger Fisher can even live where he lives. He's telling me it's minus 20 degrees. I don't know how you people live in those environments. I guess the most part, you're in the house. I mean, I have to assume that so many of you live in these harsh, cold environments. Your lifestyle in the winter months is you're just inside for the most part. You really can't be outside much, which that would drive me nuts. I couldn't deal with that. So, or you're just so bundled up, whatever. So, for Vivek Ramaswamy, it's interesting how, what is the guy's name that just is his last year of governor of Ohio? It's like Mike DeSwin or something like that. Can't remember his last name. But the governor of Ohio is up for his last two terms. And so he slipped in behind Vivek Ramaswamy and took the Senate seat. So now Vivek Ramaswamy has only other option he has is to run for the governor. And once again, Donald Trump was pushing him to get into the political side before he tries to become the president again to get some traction of being a sitting congressional figure, senator, governor, whatever it may be, which is a good idea, mayor, whatever, because he and Elon Musk were butting heads on. Vivek Ramsway was more fixated on really digesting and rewriting regulation in government. And Elon Musk is more about reducing the expenditures of the monies going out the door. So it just really came very clear to the parties to be, of others witnessing their relationship. There was no way these two musclehead, power hungry guys are going to be able to work with each other, because they have totally two different directions of how they saw the government getting cleaned up. And this is a real thing. I mean, this really is going to start to play out in our federal government. You know, how radical is it with Elon Musk? This is a radical guy. He's in the West Wing apparently now, running this division, this organization. Elon Musk, you know, I'm in the White House, man. I mean, it's incredible. This guy. I was never a fan of Elon Musk. I just never was. I always felt he was the master magician of how to take other people's money and make a ton of money, which he's done. You got to give the guy credit. So now, fast forward to present day, and it's incredible on how the stature he has, the influence he has. And so if you really were listening to me yesterday, I was talking about how Larry Ellison and Moss, I guess it's Mossy, whatever, son of SoftBank, and you have what's his name, Sam Altman of OpenAI, moving forward with this huge infrastructure to develop the artificial intelligence at a level never ever seen in mankind, and it's going to take an incredible amount of money to build out infrastructure. And so it's a good article that I read about this morning. And already Elon Musk is telling people there's no way they'll ever raise the money to be able. It's a $500 billion goal of raising money to be able to build out this artificial intelligence. But what's being kind of now brought to the forefront of this is how Microsoft, who's been a major investor in Sam Altman, OpenAI, they've already got like $80 billion invested, and they're a key component of the artificial intelligence cloud, and how Sam Altman kind of has a little different vision than this guy, what's the guy's name? Daniel or something, one of the key executives of Microsoft. They're kind of looking at things differently, because Microsoft's more about the cloud capability, and OpenAI is more about the artificial intelligence being built out more so. But the concern is that Microsoft won't be able to stay up with the cloud capability of handling this OpenAI that's getting ready to blast off. So the reason I'm bringing that up is that the relationship is kind of on a fine line, where Microsoft is saying, well, maybe you need to find a different partner in some ways, not totally, but to continue to help you build out your infrastructure. And meanwhile, Microsoft is investing heavily overseas in this artificial intelligence and cloud as well. So right now, I sit here and speak and you watch my videos, it's incredible in the back end of what's happening, of the future of knowledge and computer technology, that is going to start to be within hand's reach of all of us, of just incredible ways of doing things. Even the point for me, on my YouTube channel, I can be using artificial intelligence. I used artificial intelligence the other day to call somebody and to put a request in for a callback, and it was pretty cool on how these text to chat, you can just tell it's all artificial intelligence that you're interacting with. And once again, what's interesting is, so for Elon Musk, his artificial intelligence is called XAI. Sam Altman is called OpenAI. And as I've mentioned, Elon Musk is suing OpenAI and he's calling them out big time, because if they ever take this company public, and I told you all about this last year, about how in Delaware you can now take a nonprofit organization, and you can reestablish it as it's called something like a profit corporation. There's abbreviation to that. So Sam Altman and all the other key players at OpenAI, they have registered now OpenAI to be a for-profit company. And Elon Musk claims that was never the goal. It was never supposed to be a for-profit organization. He's very concerned of the money grab. But the thing is, you say to yourself, but here's Elon Musk that has XAI. Is he going to make money off of that? So Elon Musk is suing OpenAI because they're wanting to change the direction of why they created artificial intelligence and for the future of it and for the monies to be made off of it. What else is going on out there with Donald Trump? I mean, it's incredible on how now it's an argument about the Panama Canal, of us getting the rights back to controlling that. Now it's him writing a letter to Putin to see if Putin will lay down his arms. And if he doesn't, Donald Trump is going to join others and put even harsher sanctions, even though the sanctions haven't done anything. And the irony is, where has all of Donald Trump's wives come from? Aren't they Russian? Isn't Donald Trump's two wives, one's passed, aren't they Russian? So, I mean, he loves Russia. I think he likes Putin. But it's going to be very interesting to see how his relationship. And the thing is, right now, Putin and Xi, the leader of China, they're in heavy discussions. So you just have to sit back and think that he's the Muppeteer, the puppeteer, the Muppeteer. Now is it Elon and here Donald Trump? That could be speculation. I'm sure a lot of people already think that's happening. But for Donald Trump wanting to impose these new tariffs on China again, and then do sanctions on Russia. So is Russia and China going to collude more than ever together to resist the Donald Trump world, which is going to be very, very interesting to see if that plays out. Which, wow, right? Wow. So, sometimes I text myself, I just think it's going to be very challenging for Trump. But at the same time, for Trump, it's pretty incredible what he pulls out. It's so interesting. I made a comment to myself: slavery in comparison to social media. I was thinking, could you say that in some ways? I don't know. It's possible. But here's something the other day I wanted to do. I was wanting to go through the executive orders, which I never did do that. So the White House page, you can go to the White House page, and you can pull up what I'm looking at. It's public knowledge. And now what it does is it tells you what his executive orders are. So, and I looked at this the other day, and there's a lot of them here, and I'm just trying to think here about how some of these. So we probably know Trump declared a national emergency at the southern border. But here's one I talked about many times. Trump delivers emergency price relief for American families to defeat the cost of living crisis. So what you have to say is, you click on this here, and what does it say? And I'm just trying to see how is he going to do that? So it says this action includes drastically lower the cost of housing and expand housing supply, eliminate unnecessary administrative expenses and rent-seeking practices that drive up healthcare costs, eliminate counterproductive requirement raising the cost of home appliances, create employment opportunities for American workers, including drawing discouraged workers in the labor force, eliminate harmful, coercive climate policies driving the cost of food and fuel. So he's talking about hardworking families are overwhelmed today by the cost of fuel, food, housing, automobiles, medical care, utilities, and insurance. Unprecedented regulatory pressure from the Biden administration has imposed almost $50,000 in cost to the average American household. So, but you're hearing he's hearing what he's wanting to accomplish, but how is he going to do it? And so here's Brian's mother crashed into a tree. Huh. Well, that's not good. Let's see here. Let me make sure he doesn't hurt himself. Yeah, Brian's mother just crashed into a tree. which then hit the neighbor's house. Yeah, see, the cold, the icy roads. And I tell my kid, she's driving around that race truck. I'm like, that's now your favorite so-called truck. And you're driving around these lousy-ass days where the snow comes off the car and it hits the windshield, and you pick. I'm like, you don't want to be driving the favorite. You drive the Jeep Gladiator. You drive that around right now. That thing can get beat up. Who cares? Yeah, so back to Trump. So, once again, is the car industry going to lay down and reverse all their price increases? And that was something that is interesting is on this tax incentive, which I have greatly taken advantage of on EV vehicles. There is a huge concern right now with Donald Trump pulling the plug on the Inflation Reduction Act that is going to create havoc if he pulls the plug on the green, the Green Deal, the EV subsidy of $7,500. Up to $7,500 on buying an electric vehicle that you get applied towards the price of the car, or $3,500. Depends on which vehicle, $3,750, whatever it is. So a lot of car dealers right now are very, very worried that if Donald Trump pulls away, now Elon Musk is all for it, which is very interesting. He's all for ending the subsidies of these car manufacturers getting favoritism for the what the heck? Those guys are just out of control down there. He's all for getting rid of these subsidies. And that's what Donald Trump talks about also in this executive order of killing this Inflation Reduction Act, how the favoritism to the electric vehicles has harmed the ICE age. And it's not fair, and it's not going to continue. So you're now seeing on news car dealerships that have a huge inventory of electric vehicles that aren't selling because they're so expensive that they see the writing on the wall that if they take away the tax subsidy, they're going to be stuck with cars like never ever seen. But back to my whole point is the car industry really going to lower the price of cars? The only way they're going to be able to do that, as you know, is have their huge discounts. They're going to redo the Maloney, sticker on the window that $90,000 truck is now says $70,000 versus the $90,000 truck is you get 10 grand off. You get 10, 15 grand off the factory incentives, and the dealer takes off another 5 or 10. Remember those days? And that's when you used to go out and buy these $90,000 trucks. You get 15, 20 grand off. I remember those days because they're so overpriced. Those all disappeared. So you know what? My video stops. I'm not really sure how long I'm in this. I think I'm over 30 minutes. I gotta go talk a lot. So, do I have company? Do I have somebody else coming upstairs? Do I have? Yes, I do. There she is. I'm videoing my morning conversation. Hi. I'm going to let me see you? No. Okay, there you go. Well, I think my time's over. I got to take care of my business.
Oh, no.
Right. And the kids got to get to school.
Do not reveal my location.
Yeah, that's interesting. Look how Trump is taking a total reversal on TikTok. He's actually liking TikTok now. I wonder why. I think it helps him get elected, but who knows? All right, everybody, God bless. Have a great day.